Every crime leaves a trace. Searching for the truth. This is Justice Valley.
Get on the ground! Oh my God, stop it!
It's a masterclass in how to lose your badge, your pension, and your reputation in record time. We're in Loveland, Colorado, where a rookie officer decided that his ego was more important than the United States Constitution. In most professions, a major HR violation might get you a performance plan. In the world of civil rights, when you punch a handcuffed, defenseless woman in a hospital room, you get a pink slip in 72 hours. Stick around, because we're going to break down the legal anatomy of this disaster, from a peaceful song in a parking lot to a federal civil rights violation, and show you exactly how this officer fast-tracked his own termination. Freedom is scary. Deal with it. Every police interaction starts somewhere, and this one began as a consensual encounter. Officer Hobbs, who, frankly, shows more patience here than most, is just trying to talk. At this stage, there's no seizure under the Fourth Amendment. This lady is technically free to keep singing her way to the land, the air, and the sea. But here is where the consensual trap snaps shut. Cops are trained to turn a chat into a detention the moment they find a hook. Here, it's the Good Samaritans, pulling up with iPhone footage of her allegedly walking in traffic. Suddenly, the legal landscape shifts. We go from a voluntary conversation to reasonable suspicion. The moment Hobbs asks for ID and she refuses, the customer service phase ends. But notice the difference. Hobbs is de-escalating. He's playing the long game. He doesn't realize that his rookie backup, Officer Moranto, is about to arrive and turn a routine welfare check into a fast-track ticket to the unemployment line. Here is where the wheels fall off. In law enforcement, we call this the personality hire gone wrong. Officer Hobbs is treating the situation like a social worker, but 28-year-old rookie Russell Moranto arrives with the temperament of a high school bully. He doesn't have the gift of gab or the de-escalation training to handle someone who isn't speaking his language. Instead of letting her vent, Moranto takes every incoherent insult as a personal challenge. When he says, "I will not tolerate that language," he's making the ultimate rookie mistake, legally. Contempt of cop isn't a crime. The First Amendment actually protects a citizen's right to be rude, profane, or even nonsensical toward the police. Moranto's inability to swallow his pride and ignore the fifth element, rants, is the catalyst. He's no longer focused on public safety. He's focused on winning an argument with a 59-year-old woman in a parking lot. This is the point of no return. Most people think the Fourth Amendment covers all police force, but because she's already been arrested and transported to the hospital, we've entered the territory of the 14th Amendment. Here, the legal standard is due process. It asks, was this force necessary for a legitimate government purpose, or was it just malicious and sadistic? Punishment. When Moranto delivers that punch, he isn't subduing a threat. He's retaliating for a spit. She's in handcuffs. She's defenseless. Even his partner, Hobbs, immediately pulls him back, sensing the career-ending gravity of that strike. You can't punch correct a prisoner's behavior just because you're offended. In the eyes of the law, that's not policing. It's a battery under color of law. This single, impulsive reaction turned a routine arrest into a federal civil rights disaster and a 3-day countdown to his firing. The cover-up is often where the second crime begins, but not this time. When the supervisor arrives, the blue wall of silence has a massive crack in it. Officer Hobbs, knowing the strike was indefensible, doesn't lie. He admits Moranto struck her across the face while she was restrained. This is COIA, clean arguer. You know the rest, behavior in full effect. The department realized within hours that this wasn't a split-second decision. It was a liability. 3 days. That's all it took for the Loveland Police Department to cut ties. Usually, internal affairs investigations drag on for months, but when the body cam shows a clear-cut 14th Amendment violation against a handcuffed 59-year-old, there is no nuance to discuss. However, the system's accountability had a limit. While the cop lost his job, the victim, who clearly needed mental health support, was still slapped with a third-degree assault charge. It's a stark reminder. The house might get cleaned, but the person who got hit rarely gets an apology. So, how do you get fired as a cop in 3 days? You let your ego override your training and the Constitution. In Loveland, Colorado, this officer learned the hard way that a badge isn't a license to retaliate. When you're wearing the uniform, not tolerating someone's language doesn't give you the right to swing on them, especially when they're already in handcuffs. This case is a perfect example of why body cameras and transparent supervisors are essential. Without that footage, this might have been just another uncooperative suspect, report. Instead, it's a permanent record of what happens when the line between policing and personal anger gets blurred. If you believe that accountability shouldn't be the exception, but the rule, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We'll keep breaking down the footage the system doesn't want you to see. Share your thoughts in the comments. Was 3 days fast enough, or should criminal charges be next? I'm your host for Justice Valley. Remember, freedom is scary. Deal with it.